Last time on Dragon Ball Z, after the longest 5 minutes of all time, the battle reached its climax, with none other than Son Goku emerging victorious as the new greatest power in the known universe. Frieza, rendered impotent by his own attack, begged Son Goku for mercy, seemingly forgetting all those he mercilessly ended who pled to him the same way. Enraged, Goku points out this hypocrisy to Frieza himself, but unable to sink to his enemy's depths, he provides Frieza with some of his own energy, just enough to escape the planet before its impending explosion. Unable to help himself, the Galactic Tyrant makes one final play. Rather than utilizing the energy he received to escape with his life, he instead leverages it to mount one last final assault on the Super Saiyan's back as he makes his way from the battlefield. Flabbergasted at the sheer foolishness, Goku calls Frieza the fool that he is before sending one final blast his way, putting an end to the cosmos' greatest terror. Although Goku may have won the final battle on Namek though, it appears he may unfortunately have lost the war, as Goku finds himself with no means of escaping following the destruction of Frieza's ship as it falls helplessly into Namek's increasingly volatile core. Letting out one last pained scream, it appears Goku's life was taken in Namek's violent explosion, Earth's martyr paying the ultimate price to ensure the galaxy's safety. Or so we thought. Got him! Because back on Earth, the Namekians have allowed the Earthlings to use their Dragon Balls to wish Son Goku and the rest of their lost comrades back to life, a welcome victory after all the tragedies that have unfolded. Their longtime friend Krillin was wished back without issue, but when it came time to resurrect Goku, the dragon informed them that this could not be done, because the man called Son Goku yet lived. Not only that, but he has asked not to be brought back to Earth yet, stating he will arrive on his own time. With this last cryptic message, Goku's friends honor his wishes, waiting for him to come home as they work on bringing back their old friends from the past. After a tearful goodbye, the Namekians leave Earth as they are transported to a new home planet. All the while, still no word from the man of the hour, Son Goku. As another year passes, we visit a growing son Gohan, whom is at his desk presumably recovering from another mandatory study session from his tiger mom, trying to process why his dad still has not come back with the milk after all this time. But before he can get in his feels any further, young Gohan is startled after sensing an immense energy reading, during which time his phone starts to ring off the hook and it's none other than Unc on the other end of the phone asking him if he picked up on it too. Both Krillin and Gohan are positive that they sensed this energy before, but they don't want to say it out loud. These fellows are on their Candyman time and thinking that if you don't say bro's name and pretend he isn't real, he can't manifest to beat the brakes off you. They weren't the only ones having flashbacks right now though. As we cut to Piccolo and Vegeta as well, both of these fellows got sweat dropping off their faces as they slowly exit the denial phase and begin to accept what they are sensing, that Frieza is back and the Earth as they know it might be cooked. We are then treated to an outside view of a familiar looking spaceship, and inside is none other than everyone's favorite piece of garbage, Lord Frieza, and this time he's got some company. Can we just take a moment to talk about how wild it is that Frieza survived Namek? Bro, this dude's resistance stat is max level. Not only did he survive getting nuked by Goku, but then on top of that scraping, man somehow managed to survive the entire planet exploding while being a member of the cast of 2.5 Men himself. Literally the only thing that kept this boy going this entire time was racism and thinking of all the different ways he wanted to fold up Kakarot if he ever makes it out of the vacuum of space and on the Earth's surface. I don't think y'all comprehend the level of hate that has to be in your heart in order to survive something like that out of pure spite alone. This feat by itself is enough to reserve Frieza a spot in the Haters Hall of Fame, let alone the rest of his history with the Saiyan race. As is immediately apparent though, that boy Frieza did not make it off the planet without a few battle scars. After homie comes in the frame, we see Frieza looking like a Mr. Potato Head that got salvaged together from various pieces of throwaway junkyard parts. Man out here looking like he found the secret door from Coraline posted up next to his 9-foot tall pops, who doesn't even realize he's about to get folded up like a lawn chair in the next few minutes. But we won't talk about that right now. Before continuing on, I had to talk about the weird vibes Frieza is giving in his relationship with his pops. Now, God knows I'm not one to talk bad about a dude having a good relationship with their dad, but the way this grown-ass man Frieza looks at his father's eyes and calls him daddy throws me for a crazy loop and was something I was in no way prepared for.
Oh, harder, daddy. Son?
While I'm coping with Frieza's daddy trauma, the Z Warriors were on Earth coping with a whole different type of trauma after sensing their ghosts from the recent past may be a lot more alive than they thought. Before long, all the Z homies found themselves converging on the same location as they sensed that this is where the massive power level was likely to touch down on the planet. Tien arrives and sees Vegeta for the first time since he got smoked by his bald comrade back in the day. Vegeta, being the instigator that he is, senses that Tien has beef and asks him if he got something to say. Tien's like, yeah, actually I do got a few things to say to Fivehead that knocked me off the planet a few years back and is seconds away from squaring up with this man. Yamcha, sensing that Vegeta was a whole mere moments away from spinning the whole block, tells him that now's not the time and they should be focused on the true threat. Tien looks over at Yamcha and starts flaming him, telling him that he doesn't know how this dude Yamcha's over here playing house with the dude that pushed his wig back and has been knocking his girlfriend's boots on the side, but he guesses he'll lay off for now. Before Yamcha can ask Tien to repeat that last part, Krillin and Gohan arrive on the scene just in time to peep the arrival of Frieza's ship making its landing descent. You already know a situation is bad when the Prince of all conflict is telling you to suppress your power level and hide behind some nearby rocks so you don't get turned into chalk. But that's exactly what happens and you absolutely hate to see it. Tien and Yamcha get a taste of Frieza's power level for real for the first time, and I cannot properly put into words how quick both of these dudes folded. Both these dudes really fell apart faster than Jenga blocks. Yamcha especially. Dude got a whiff of Frieza's power level and started writing his will, telling him that he don't even know why he showed up for real, because there ain't a damn thing he can do about this fella. And on the one hand, I mean, he ain't wrong. But at the same time, you ain't supposed to say that out loud, cuz, especially next to your girl and the whole crew. Piccolo tells Yamcha to shut his simple mouth up and tighten up, letting them know that they're gonna get bodied either way. So why not go down throwing hands at least, rather than getting nuked by some random explosion you didn't know was coming. We now cut to Frieza, who's just touched down on the planet and is making preparations. Frieza's pops tells his son that according to their calculations, they have 3 hours until the Saiyan arrives. So he wants to know what Frieza's plans are until he gets there. Frieza tells Daddy Cold that he wants to make a nice housewarming party for Son's arrival, so he plans to dead the whole planet so Buddy has something nice to come back to. Right after Frieza gives word to his goons to go on a rampage, we cut to a shot of an individual wearing a pair of Capsule Core 13s that's about to change the game permanently. That's right, y'all. Right here we have the introduction of my GOAT, Future Trunks. And you already know something wild is about to pop off when they introduce Homie with various shots of his fit before he gets busy. Homie's out here rocking the Capsule Core 13s, the Louis belt, Balenciaga jacket, fresh out the barber with a clean fade, and he got a sword on the back. Bro, if you don't mess with Future Trunks, I need you to pause the video, reevaluate your priorities, and then come back and talk to me. Frieza, intrigued by the presence of this absolute specimen, asks him if he can help him with something. Trunks replies, and the first words we ever hear uttered from this man is how he's gonna run Frieza's fade. Frieza is so shocked by this, bro doesn't even know how to respond, so he just kind of stands there for a minute looking up at his pops like, yo, you know this dude? Frieza's like, look, young blood, you must be new around here, so I'm gonna let you try that again. My name ring bells across the galaxy, and you must be a different kind of ignorant to approach me like that. Then man like Trunks, the mysterious stranger's like, nah, I know your name, partner. You Frieza. In the same way I know your name, I know that your cheeks, and I'm about to dead your whole squad. Realizing that he's currently losing the row session, Frieza seeks to quickly put an end to it and orders one of his goons to pull out the stick and boom this man pronto. Bro does, but this man Trunks knocks the bullet in the next week, and in less than a second hits this man so hard he goes flying across the wasteland and into Frieza's ship, causing his premium to go up on insurance at least $400. After seeing their mans get dog walked, the rest of Frieza's Meat Rider clan go on a direct charge to Trunks' position. Then all we see is dude put his hands on the blade's hilt, and in less than a second, homie like Trunks on the other side of the goons as they all collapse on that same time classic anime swordsman energy. While Trunks is busy taking out the trash, the rest of the Z Squad are ducking behind rocks playing Uno when all of a sudden they pick up on another massive energy reading that just arrived as a whole bunch of other energies just disappeared. We return to Frieza, who's low-key impressed by Trunks' display, but reminds him that he can still boom this whole planet in seconds if he really felt like it. Trunks tells Buddy to try it. He lets him know off rip that he is not soft like that boy son Goku and that he made one major miscalculation coming to Earth. He failed to realize that the homie Kakarot is not the only one who's a Super Saiyan. And before Frieza can even fully grasp what dude just said, the young man transforms and we're met with the familiar glowing aura and bright golden hair, much in the same vein of Goku's own transformation that occurred on Namek. We return to the B team who are absolutely geeking after sensing the immense ki increase that just popped off. Gohan's like, yo, is that my pops? Cause this energy I'm feeling right now is exactly like what my dad's felt like on Namek, and ain't none of our sorry asses out putting power like that. Frieza, knee deep in a panic attack after seeing this man in front of him turn yellow, wastes no time and immediately tries to send him to King Kai's. Without even confirming the kill, King Cole starts gassing his son up, talking about, so much for the legendary Super Saiyan, am I right? And at this moment right here, Trunks forever solidified himself as one of my favorite characters in the series. While covered in the smoke, this man Trunks started doing hand signs straight out out of Naruto. And real quick, I need somebody in the comments to explain why this was necessary, because I feel like Buddy was just flexing on us, but if there's an actual reason, I am more than okay with y'all putting me on to the special properties of this move. Then Buddy puts up the diamond like young Hova and shoots out a Katun Fireball no Jutsu right at Frieza's position. The attack misses, but it turns out that this was all according to Keikaku, because right at this moment, Trunks hops into the air and chops his man Frieza in half, nuts to butts. But it's not over, y'all, because if there's one thing Trunks learned from his future, it's that you gotta double tap. So Buddy then starts chopping this man Frieza into bits. Then for the piece de resistance, smokes the pieces with a key wave for good measure, so there's literally no trace of this man Frieza left. Homies, when I tell y'all that this moment had me speechless as a kid, bro, words can't even describe it. Please think about what just happened for a second. Up to this point, Frieza was the strongest known being on the planet. It took Goku and company quite literally every ounce of strength they had to even attempt to measure up to this dude. And it wasn't until it seemed that all hope was lost and Goku reached his breaking point that he became a match for Frieza. And even then, the fight wasn't an easy dub and these boys were going blow for blow the entire time. Eventually, Goku clutches it out, but not without damn near dying in the process. Now we return to Earth, and there's this character that nobody knows who just randomly rolls up on Frieza, doesn't introduce himself, knows the lore, turns Super Saiyan, and takes out this man Frieza in seconds? Bruh, Toriyama was in the lab cooking something devious when he made Trunks in this part of the story. Nowadays, we don't think about it as a big deal because as fans, we've all seen this section of the story so many times, and many of us know it by heart. But it really cannot go ignored how unhinged of a plot development this is. The Z homies managed to catch a glimpse of what just popped off and are watching this with the same exact expressions we were at home. Like, who the hell is this dude and what just happened? Bulma remarks that, man, Goku made it just in time. But Yamcha's like, nah, that's a Super Saiyan, but that ain't Goku. And Frieza just got boomed by somebody completely random. Vegeta absolutely seething that not just one, but two people potentially broke the Super Saiyan barrier before he could, go zooming off in the direction of the fight with newfound courage following Frieza's ass getting turned into tossed salad. We return to Trunks and King Cold, with the latter looking none too amused at seeing his son getting his toast buttered right in front of his eyes. Cold, being the kind of scumbag that he is though, offers Trunks a place at his side as his new son, telling him that his clan only has use for the strongest of individuals, and clearly, Frieza was no longer it. Trunks stares at Buddy like there ain't enough Zenny in the world to make me sit up in that ship and call you daddy. King Cole remarks that he expected this response, and before they continue, asks Trunks if he can borrow a sword. It was clear as day what type of timing this man was on, and Trunks clearly sensed it too, which is exactly why he's like, sure bud, here, go ahead and admire your son's murder weapon, you absolute weirdo. King Cole takes his time admiring the blade, expressing approval of its craftsmanship, until he remarks that this tool must have been the true reason that he was able to defeat his son so easily. Trunks looks at Buddy like, what do you mean by that? When out of the blue, King Cole attempts a cheap shot and aims a sword right at Trunks' neck, trying to end the battle on one gruesome blow. Trunks, without batting an eyelash, grabs the sword in midair while Cold is holding it and gives a quick smirk before blowing a hole through Cold's insides with a ki blast, leaving Buddy looking crazy splattered across a nearby rock with zero dignity. Then this man Trunks hovers in the air and without thinking twice nukes the entire area the skirmish took place on, battleship and all, leaving no trace as though the fight never happened. The scene ends with Trunks powering down and telling the Z homies that he's about to go meet Goku now and sees if they want to come along for the ride. And right here, y'all, is where we're going to call it for the day. If there's one thing I can say about Dragon Ball, it's that man Akira Toriyama knows how to play with people's expectations. The Saiyans, Namek, and now the Android Saga are just a minefield of bombshell after bombshell. And getting to rewatch and read these scenes again has just been a solid reminder of the man's storytelling ability. Tune in next time as the Z Warriors attempt to learn more about our mysterious stranger and a familiar face finally makes his arrival back home. Be easy, y'all, and I'll talk to you in the next video.
Oh, harder, Daddy.